Boy, they just can't help themselves, can they? I'm John Renton with my review of AEW Dark, and well, some of these matches should have been cut in half. The show had no business, even with 16 matches going nearly 2 hours. 80 to 90 minutes would have been perfect, or at least better than what we got. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. So I want to wish a speedy recovery to Ricky Starks. He suffered a fractured neck after landing on his head after a German suplex spot against Adam Hangman Page on a recent episode of Dynamite. And, you know, I met him at a couple indie shows, especially at one just before NWA Hard Times in 2019. And great talent. He killed in the NWA. He's been killing it in AEW, and he's going to come back better than ever. And he's also great on promos. Just overall good guy. Really hope that he recovers quickly. And 100%. Don't come back too soon. Come back 100%. Excalibur and Taz on commentary. Yucking it up at times, but then also calling the action, so it was the usual Excalibur and Taz commentary. So Milk Chocolate took on Moxley and Kingston. It took me longer to talk about who was in the match than it took for the match to be over. Jumpstart, half and half crash, 1, 2, 3, Moxley and Kingston win. Okay, cool, maybe we're going to get an expedient show. Oh no, things came to a crashing halt about halfway through. Uno 5 and Colt Boom Boom Cabana with the Dark Order versus Spencer Slade, Colt Carter, and Andrew Palace. I do want to say this lasted longer than the first match, but then again, the intros alone lasted longer than the first goddamn match, and this Spencer Slade does have something. And Flatliner 1, 2, 3. Then Shivani interviews Diamante, who says, you know, listen to me, pointing at her eyes. That's not how anatomy works. She says she's going to rise up the ranks. Well, they got rid of Evilise, thankfully, so she can't do much worse than that. So, anyway, Archer versus Angel Fashion. Roberts on commentary. It was a mauling, but it should have ended, I don't know, in 2 minutes. Angel Fashion got some shots in. Roberts did mention Sting's scared of him. Maybe he's just scared of what's going to happen next, even though he's cashing in those checks, because Tony Khan is a fan of 90s WCW, which I was also. There's a reason, well, several reasons, why that company shut down. Jamie Kellner, the AOL Time Warner merger, and the fact that that company was bleeding money and making bad decisions and relying on people they didn't need to rely on anymore. Thankfully, AEW isn't bleeding money because there's the son of a billionaire in charge of it. And man, he is on the Herb Abrams diet. If you saw that promo, just good fucking grief. Good God, Tony Khan is not okay. So, yeah, Angel Fashion, after gaining a couple shots, got hit with the Buckle Bomb, Choke Slam, and Winding Slam 1, 2, 3. The Factory with Anthony Monster Go-Go. I don't care about QT Marshall as a heel, even though he's had a good story on Undesirable to Undeniable on the early episode of Dark, and he's done good, shit with training people. They're trying to make this work, but he got beat by Cody, but oh no, a Go-Go covered Cody with the Union Jack flag. That builds a feud. No, it doesn't. So Nick Camarado and Aaron Solo basically did the match against Jake Logan, Ryzen, and Rick Recon. Rick Recon seriously sounds like a Contra character. I'm not even knocking the guy. That's what the name reminded me of. So we need to do up, up, down, down, left, right, A, B, start to get 30 extra lives. Especially after, well, QT got the tag after Camarado and Solo did the business, did the work and all that, and then hit the cutter on Ryzen 1, 2, 3. Cool, whatever. Then he did a figure 4 on Ryzen because he's not happy he lost to Cody. They hotshotted that feud, and it didn't work at all. It wasn't going to work even if they tried to build it up, because it's not interesting. Not a lot of shit with Cody has been interesting, especially in the last year. So, Avalon and Cesar Panini try to do bad comedy. Dolph Twin, a.k.a. Ryan Nemeth, comes in. Drake, he's in a very shiny shirt, and they touch tips. Pinkies up, bitches! Varsity Blondes with Julia Hart. She is the blonde cheerleader. No, seriously, I think she's going to bring it on for everybody. Should retro review Bring It On at some point. And at least it's something for her to do. They have a cheerleader. That's cool. It's a nice callback to when Brian Pillman Sr., it feels weird to say that, had cheerleaders come out with him to the ring, during the early days of his run in WCW. So they took on Jaden Brandy and Trayvon Jordan. I apologize if I got any of those names wrong, but these guys they got in some shots, but they basically got beat. Got beat pretty soundly. Weird bomb off the top, 1, 2, 3. And then Diamante versus Willow Nightingale. Diamante is not very good in the ring. Willow Nightingale teamed up with Solo Darling in a pretty good match at Shimmer 112 last year. And Willow has some personality. I just didn't care for this in Code Red 1, 2, 3. Diamante, I mean, she's not the worst in the ring, but she's certainly not the best. So, Dante Martin versus Aaron Fry. In the setting sun. Beautiful setting suns. One cool thing about Daly's place. Of course, they have nowhere to store a cage, so they have to tape half of Dynamite and then frustrate the fans, which I don't blame them. But we get flippy shit. We get some good stuff. Both these guys are good athletes. And 451, 2-3. Nyla Rose versus Ashley D'Ambrose. Or D'Amboise. Ambrosia. Whatever. Can we get rid of Vicky, please? She's doing the same goddamn shtick she did 10 years ago when it wasn't very interesting. It was a demolishing and beast bomb 1-2-3 in about 2 minutes. Silver's getting angry. You wouldn't like Silver when he's angry, but you gotta wait till he's healed. And then the Dark Order fires up because they're tired of the group antics from Hardy's, group. So we then get the Dolph Twin and Cesar Panini versus JD Drake and Peter Avalon. The pretty picture. Pretty bad when JD Drake is being treated as a flunky here. Now, I mean, I'm not saying that guy's ever going to be a world champion in AEW or even a champion, but they have something with JD Drake, and I don't think what they did on this show is the best representation of what he can do. So they took on Liam Gray and Adrian Alanis. It's ironic, don't you think? Panini is not good, and I know he's Benoni, but Panini sounds better because Panini has usefulness. And Rude Awakening 1-2-3. Chris Statlander with the Best Alien Friends versus Julia Hart. They have a lot of people repeating on the show. She booped the ref, he booped in return. So much booping, she booped a cheerleader. I saw that in the movie once. So, Big Bang Theory 1-2-3. It was fine. It was fine. Jungle Boy with Marco Stunt, unfortunately, versus Marty the Moth from Lucha Underground. I'm just going to call him that. It was decent. Marty's good, and so is Jungle Boy. He's despite, only having been in wrestling for a few years, he's got the chops and he's getting better. Marty did get a nice Northern Light suplex, and he got busted in the mouth. Marty the Mouth, if you will. Gross. I think he either had possibly a lost tooth, hopefully not. He missed a moonsault and snare trap for the win. Not a bad match. Red Velvet and Big Swole with Kylan King versus the MK Twins. Okay, Red Velvet really had to carry this. Big Swole has a great story. I'm glad she's battling through the illness that she has. Crohn's disease is no joke. I have a couple family members that have it. Big Swole's not very good in the ring. She's charismatic, but she's not very good in the ring. Red Velvet had to basically carry this. The MK Twins are not that good. Maybe they'll get better. Maybe they can be featured better. The closing moments were not good, and hook kick 1-2-3. JD Drake with 10 versus 10, and he had all his cronies out there. JD Drake does have something. He's got personality. He's got a nice territorial look. He's working, according to his social media, he's working on, getting in better shape for himself and for his health, and that's good. And I think that they could use him a little bit better here. This match went twice as long as it needed to. It had way too many awkward moments with people trying to interfere. And eventually he falls to the full Nelson, but I just think they got to get him better gear. Him wrestling in jeans was not a good idea. He could wrestle in a singlet like he has, and that would work better. I don't think this was a very good representation of what these guys could do. Whether these guys are great or not is subject to debate, but I think JD Drake and 10 are good athletes. And this match sounded better in, theory than it did in execution. So, yeah, full Nelson for the win. And then the Acclaim, well, Caster does a rap and basically says, it's like, Sonny, you should let Janela borrow some makeup. You're so ugly you couldn't get a damn kiss. You fell off hard in the time you fought Zandig. That guy that basically yelled at the Dark Side of the Ring producers because they were late. And, wonder what shit he had in his goddamn yard. So fuck that deathmatch idiot. And by the way, tune in for my Dark Side of the Ring, my review on Dark Side of the Ring about Nick Gage, where I probably won't, have anything bad to say about Nick Gage, who did seem to turn his life around. But, oh boy, am I going to have something to say about deathmatch wrestling. That fucking bullshit. Little teaser there. So, he did say, Sonny, what do you say? Let's keep it old school and have some sunny days. Actually scratch that, you're not that cute, and I got a, it's like, you're not that cute, I got a better ass. He does this booty, butt, cheek. I don't know why he did. Listen to the rap. Just go and listen to the goddamn rap. I can't do it because I'm white, and I have no ability to rap. So how do you follow that? You followed up with a match that really should have been about 4 minutes, and at least the right guy took the pin. They had Janela sell his knee, which, okay, that's fine, but then he got back in the ring, and then he managed to get the tag to Sonny, and they kept doing more stuff. And Sonny's a good athlete. And I don't really care for Janela in the ring, but this would have made so much more sense if it was cut in half. And good God, this went forever. Dueling diving elbows, claim to fame on Janela while he was trapped in the, a reverse cloverleaf. And there you go. Just, again, the Acclaimed should have beaten them flat quicker. Put Sonny in some singles matches. Let's see what he can do. Brian Cage with Hook versus Bear Bronson. Big men battle, and Bear boulders out with an injury. Speedy recovery to him. And it was fine. Bronson did well. Cage came back with some power and did a drill claw where he nearly dropped him on his goddamn head for 3. Hobbs with hook versus Mike Seidel, that is. Matt Seidel showed up later after Hobbs beat him and then kept beating him down. That's it for that. 16 matches. That's really it. 16 matches on a dead man's chest. Not Pirates of the Caribbean dead man's chest. Anyway, agree, disagree with what I said. Like, share, subscribe. Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retlin. I'll see you soon.